keynote. Right, here we are. We have Ghadi Ali, entrepreneur, advisor, and top 50 global inspirational woman. Please welcome her to the stage. CEO of Othaim Fashion, Ali Al Shareif. The founder and CEO of the luxury closet, Kunal Kapoor. The managing director and CEO of Infotech Software and Systems, Ashim A Patil. And the COO of Giordano, Ahmedullah, Abdul Hadi. Welcome them to the stage. And our conversation moderator this afternoon, please welcome back to the stage the CEO of Blooming, May Kanounji. Thank you very much. Is that everybody? Hello. Hello. Amazing. May, over to you. Thank you.
Welcome to our very interesting panel about fashion trends in Saudi Arabia, and thank you for the audience to be attending this great panel. Of course, one of the most important topics to talk when it comes to fashion industry is the fusion between the global and the local trends, which will support the fashion industry in Saudi Arabia to reach a value of $32 billion in 2025. I would like first to ask Ali, sitting next to me, about his opinion regarding the homegrown brands versus the local, the international or global brands. Who do you think will win the Saudi consumer?
Assalamu alaikum. Ali Shareif, CEO of Othaim Live. This is the fashion arm of Othaim investment company. Thank you for having me, and I hope you can get some good ideas out of this panel. Firstly, it is evident and it's clear for everybody the transformation and evolution that Saudi Arabia is going through. And I think this is one of the best eras, I believe, even in the region, to plant and start, homegrown brands. For us in Othaim Fashion or Othaim Life, we're now hosting more than 40 brands, more than 350 stores around the kingdom. And one of the great challenges that we have, trading and operating international brands, is the adaptability to the market. The cultural authenticity is not there because brands either from France, with all the qualities and the fashion trends that they have from Italy, from Spain, still the cultural adaptability is not 100% there. And definitely we work on it. This is a challenge, and we sometimes go really good improvement with it. But I believe with a country like Saudi Arabia, with such a rich culture, I believe the space for homegrown brands is huge. With the support with the Saudi government, the Saudi Fashion Commission, the Riyadh Fashion Week, Saudi Fashion Week was held, and I think there is a great platform and opportunities for the Saudi homegrown brands to operate, to start really touching the lives of the Saudis. Again, luckily 60% of our customers are females, and the female plays a great role in the fashion industry in Saudi Arabia. And I really would encourage, we are actually working on an initiative to also be part of the support to the Saudi homegrown brands. We will be launching soon an initiative and a platform to support the Saudi brands to flourish as well.
Very interesting. Ghadi, I come to you since you are a Saudi entrepreneur and built your own business yourself. Tell us about how a homegrown brand can win over the Saudi customer with all the strength of the international players, of course.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Ghadi Ali. I'm more than happy to be here with you today. Saudi written form. I joined as a speaker and jury as well. So I totally agree with you, Ali, regarding homegrown brand. Saudi now become a real destination for all businesses to realize a much commercial success. So when it comes to homegrown brands, I believe that driving homegrown brands sometimes could be difficult. But if homegrown brands, if I will speak from my perspective as advisor and mentor, when homegrown brands build a strong identity and create values and brand promise, and also try to reach that promise, to reach the customer expectation, then homegrown brand will definitely can go to the global brand. And nowadays, we can notice that some big international brand take their customer for granted. So they forget that the consumer behavior change yearly. So homegrown brands can take this as advantage as well, because homegrown brands know the customer need, know the pain points, and know the marketplace. So homegrown brands, at the end of the day, they're telling our story. From from customer perspective, we have to support local brands.
Great, thank you, Hadi. I saw you, Alhamdulillah, smiling on that. So given that you are the CEO of Giordano, and we see a lot of passion for homegrown brands as expressed by both Ali and Ghadi, tell us about how you think you can compete with homegrown brands then.
Hi, this is Ahmed from Giordano. Actually, let me take this opportunity to actually congratulate Ishwa. Giordano is completing 30 years in the region. So
congratulations. Congratulations.
And Saudi Arabia will be doing it in 2025. Okay, with regards to homegrown brand and the fashion brand, Saudi has produced a lot of brands. Actually, they have been thriving good in Saudi and also in the Middle East. Plus, they have also managed to expand into the Europe and the other countries. If you look at overall, in almost all the countries, the homegrown brand and the international brand coexist. They try to do what are the expertise that they have from the international brand. The homegrown brand learns from that. And international brand also do make a lot of changes when they actually move into the country. They adopt to the local culture. They try and bring new programs that meets the local requirement. In fact, the product line is changed. What I would like to do is broadly classify the brands into three when we talk about homegrown brand. One is the homegrown brand that is created by a local within the country. That's fantastic, and we have seen a lot of examples. The second is the GCC being a lot of even the residents people, those who live here, those who are not the citizens, they have created the brand here. Example is Lulu, but they also try to give a lot of opportunity to the young Saudis and for them to develop. Not every Saudi can bring in their own brand, right? And the third, the international brand, like us, what we have done is we have adopted the culture, we have adopted a lot of programs that will suit the market, and also provided some of the opportunities like the franchising. We try to create a sub-owner, right? So that's how we try to complement. But there is no such thing like a debate in terms of homegrown brand versus the international brand. They do coexist and they equally share. I was a little bit afraid that she's going to throw all us away.
Yeah, very well said, Alhamdulillah. Of course, we need to coexist in order to support each other at the end of the day in growing the market. Kunal, I wanted to ask you about your advice to homegrown brands, or as said by Alhamdulillah, the Saudi established brands, if they decided to take their experience outside Saudi Arabia, then what challenges they would be facing with the players in their local markets?
Hi, I'm Kunal. Let me give a quick introduction to what we do. So the Luxury Closet is a marketplace for buyers and sellers to sell luxury goods to each other. So we have some of the best closets in Saudi, UAE, Kuwait. list their items on the luxury closet, and we work with really the top brands. So the top 3 are Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Hermes. That in itself is 1/3 of the business. And then once these items are online, it sells to buyers around the world. So the view that we see is the second life. It's not the first life of the product. And the data that we're collecting is that how much are people willing to pay versus the original price of an item for a pre-owned item, in its second life. So I think the question, the way I read it is, what are the lessons there that can be applied to people building new fashion brands and products? And there, I would say it's quality and tradition. Yeah, that's the 2 things that really stand out. So these products, if they're in their second life or third life or fourth life, who knows, they really stand out in terms of quality. They're made of the best materials, craftsmanship that is handed down generations. And in terms of the kind of styles there are, you can just simply take an example of the Louis Vuitton, the kind of the monogram pattern or the damier pattern, which was created nearly 100 years ago. It's become tradition, and that's what gets passed on. So it's become iconic, right? So I would say that's the 2 quick lessons that you can take from there.
Thank you, Kunal. Ali, to go back to you, since Kunal tapped into the tradition, do you think from your wide experience with international brands that there is an appetite for Saudi brands in international markets? Would European customers, for example, like to wear Saudi designs?
Definitely, and I think there has been some initiatives to go abroad and display the Saudi fashion designs. But I think in order to take this step, it is extremely important that the home brand or the local brand shall succeed in its country. So I believe the first element is to have success story in Saudi Arabia, the acceptance, the operation, making sure that we have the whole cycle from the trends, getting the trends, the designs. And I really, really believe the amount of richness that is there in the Saudi culture for fashion is there. We're not talking about only people wearing dresses or casual wear. We're talking about abayas. The cultural influence that Saudi has on fashion is huge, and the amount of space for designers to maneuver around this and to impose or to expose the Saudi culture abroad is there. But again, finding the basics, the infrastructure of the brand, from the design, production, and meeting customer needs and being there for them, the whole cycle needs to be successful, well studied, and then taken and implemented in other countries, and then there will be lessons to be learned. When we talk about the franchise business in general, the franchise business, you go there and you start the business and you should make money from day one, because this business has been tested. There is a success story. They should tell you how to make money or how to be successful from day one. So yes, Saudi homegrown brands can do it, but first they need to go go through the whole experience to reach a point where they can go outside and succeed.
Great, very interesting. Ashim, I would like to ask you, from your experience, what do you believe are global technology trends this time that will support reshaping the fashion industry in Saudi Arabia in 2024?
Hi, thank you, May. Salam alaikum. So just a quick introduction. We are a RFID system integration company headquartered in India, and we are doing inventory and supply chain visibility solutions for fashion and lifestyle brands all across the world, and we have now started our operations in Middle East and in the GCC countries. So while we are working globally, what is the global trend is that the fulfillment for the customers. The brands want to move from predictive to prescriptive deliveries. So the customers are getting, the expectations are more and more. The experience has to be enriched. And in order to reach there, what the brands are doing is investment in technology. to enrich this experience, technology is a key enabler. One of the things which we are achieving by using RFID, is the biggest challenge for any retailer, whether it is an online retailer or a brick or mortar store, is having accurate inventory visibility, and having the optimization of operations in the supply chain from the DC to store, store to DC. And what they have to do today is they have to depend on manual scans. With RFID, we are avoiding that and moving it from a manual individual scan to bulk scanning, bulk counting, bulk identification, which is highly accurate and cost effective. As a result of this, when a customer is suppose ordering some particular product online and it has to be fulfilled from an offline store or from a DC, because of this visibility, the solutions are becoming more environmental friendly, more sustainable, and more the carbon footprint is getting reduced. So I can quote an example, like if I am ordering from a particular zip code, and if I have to order this white shirt in large, in a conventional non-RFID system, the nearest store or the fulfillment center needed to have a safety stock of 2 such pieces in order for the software algorithm to place an order there. Now with RFID, as the inventory is taken, physical inventory is taken every morning, the accuracy is very high, so the safety stock becomes 0, and within a mile of the zip code, the order can be fulfilled. So these are the kind of enrichments which are coming due to the technology. And the Middle East and Saudi Arabia I have been speaking to. This is the first time we are attending a retail show here. And I see that there is a lot of inclination. The understanding is already there. RFID is not new to the retailers. And I think we are very confident that under the 3 buckets of operational efficiency, cost optimization, and enriching customer experience, we will be able to build the use cases for the Saudi retailers, and we look forward to it.
That will definitely bring operational efficiency as well, and probably also a great customer experience, like in finding the right product in the right place would be a very important target to achieve. Kunal, I wanted to ask you, one of the trends that we are currently adopting from the international markets in the fashion industry is sustainability. What lessons can we learn from the Western players so that we can embrace sustainability faster?
So I would be careful whether calling it a trend because it might mean it might go away. It's cool now, and tomorrow we don't think of it much. So, so look, let's just speak about this for a minute. So, the world, we're producing what 1.5 billion pieces of clothing annually. Yeah. That's really, it's quite a lot of clothing, producing billions of clothing. And an average wardrobe has 150 items, most of what people don't wear. Yeah, so so people are buying more and more items and mostly not wearing it. What brands are doing is that they're overproducing and they don't sell and they kind of destroy it. So it's not it just, if you keep on doing what we're doing, it just doesn't work. Yeah, you cannot keep on overproducing and then destroying the products and lighting them on fire or putting them in the ground. So what's happening in European Union is that they've passed a few laws. First is traceability. Each product, it doesn't matter whether it's a fast fashion product or a luxury product, comes with a QR code. So you can figure out when it was produced, you can figure out when it starts its next life cycle, and so on and so forth. The second thing they did is they banned destroying products. So you cannot bury products under the ground anymore. The third thing that they did is they passed a right to repair law. That means anything that you produce has to be repairable. It's actually a right of the customer. So the customer can walk into your store and say, I've had this for 10 years. It's torn or it's broken. Can you please repair it? And you have an obligation to repair it. You put those together and essentially means that when you produce a garment, you have to produce it to last a really, really long time. And you have to produce just enough because you cannot destroy them anymore. Yeah? So that's a complete game changer. Now, they haven't come into enforcement yet. I believe that France is kind of leading it, and then other countries are going to start the enforcement for this. So this is kind of where it is in terms of this is what is the leading change. Yeah? But you can look at cultures as well. So this is just the government is taking a step ahead. If you go to Japan and you see how people preserve their items and how careful they are at separating, storing, recycling items, you see then that this can be cultural too. You know, we sometimes have products coming from Japan. They're 20 years old and they're impeccable. You know, a lot of used cars come from Japan. They're pretty well stored. So this is what needs to happen. Now the question is, how fast can it happen here? There are two ways for it to happen, top down and bottom up. So top down is the governments enforce it. Yeah. The second is the consumers choose it. So in terms of the consumer's choice, it's also happening quite fast. So when you look at luxury consumers, BCG and Bain poll them and say, listen, what are your decision-making criteria? So sustainability comes in one of top three. It's not the most important one. The most important one for buyers may still be price, availability, you know, whether they like the product or not. But sustainability is number three. Yeah. To put it all in a nutshell, you know, we can't keep on doing what we're doing, and I think we don't need to wait for governments to pass these laws. I think that if we just choose, then we'll help ourselves.
Abdullah, asking you that question, do you think a brand like Giordano will adopt sustainability within your strategy in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, actually, Giordano has adopted sustainability from, I think, 5-6 years ago as well. So what we do is we start from the sourcing. At the sourcing level, we see, you know, how the fabric is made, the less consumption of water, the dye that is used, you know, we look at those aspects. And in fact, we have introduced few products that could actually, when the human wear, it gives a lot of cool and comfort. So, you know, that's how we try and approach in terms of fabric. And also in the factory, we look at, you know, the factory follows the ethical practices, right? So that's how we cover on the sourcing side. If you look at on the operation side, you know, that like the power that is being used, the lights that is being used. So that's how we try to contribute to the sustainability. And if you look at on the shopping bag, you know, even before the government has, still government Saudi not introduced, we started using something called non-woven bags. It's an additional cost to the company, but we as a, you know, company, we feel that we should contribute to the society. So that's how we try to do it. And also some of the fabrics that we have sourced, we ensure the life cycle of the product is a bit lasting longer as compared to what we could do before. So that itself also try to promote in some sort of marketing things, like, you know, during the Earth Hour, you know, all those things we try to do. That's how Giordano contributes to the sustainability.
What about you, Ali? Do you think that the customer in Saudi Arabia are willing to pay the extra cost of sustainability, or it should be bared by the retailers?
Okay, I just want to take a step back before we go to sustainability and about the whole experience with the technology and the AI and the sustainability. The customer all over the world, and precisely in Saudi Arabia, is becoming extremely knowledgeable and conscious and aware of what's happening around the world. Not only the environment changes, but also how things are done. And again, the customer, the retail market in Saudi Arabia is extremely competitive. And I'm sure everybody can agree with me, and with the challenges on the disposable income we're having, the competitiveness is becoming even harder. And again, the consumer will have to go to the store or to online and, you know, pay this amount of money to the best value that the retailers is gonna give. And this is where every retailer will be looking at the best possible value and uniqueness, because again, fashion is about how unique the person is and presenting the statement. Sustainability is definitely one of those elements. Making sure, okay, we're working with international brands, and most of them are now moving towards 100% sustainability and reducing the waste and water and organic cotton and recycled fabrics. Some of our partners like Kiabi, they're moving further into opening stores for second-hand clothes. And frankly, I'm not sure if this is culturally acceptable here. We asked some questions, and frankly, if this is something that will contribute to this sustainability, we'll do it. But again, it's about the chase for uniqueness and about competitiveness. The highest market share for the leading brand in Saudi Arabia has less than 5% of market share. So it is a very competitive. Sustainability has to be there, and we make every possible means to communicate to the customer who is conscious that this brand is sustainable. So again, for the Saudi brands, if they want to walk this line and road, this is a prerequisite. It is something that has to be embedded. Definitely it's not a trend. It is something that's going to be there forever, and every company should be working towards it.
You've mentioned also, Ali, at the beginning how important is the role of women in the fashion industry. Obviously, many customers are females. I will not say all of them, and 60%, yeah. And of course, we are recruiting a lot of females within our organizations. How important do you think the recruitment of women in fashion industry is important to let brands grow, whether international or local?
It is definitely extremely important. Now, the workforce, the female workforce in Saudi is around 30%. I think in the fashion it's definitely much better. In our company, it's 72% of our workforce are females, and yes, they're in the stores, but also in the managerial positions. We proudly announced a month or a month and a half ago that we just launched our AI company, led by Dr. Fatma. She's a Saudi female. We are very proud of her, and this is the leadership for technology. What we're doing in Al-Othaim Fashion precisely is we are not only encouraging the females to join, we are drawing the career path for them, the succession planning, and last year and this year as well, we launched a program. It's called the Challenge. This is between the store managers, and all our store managers are ladies, Saudi ladies. And it's a ranking competition. Every week we have first rank according to performance and achieving the target and the growth. And the winners will go to, if it was Kiabi, she will go to France. If it's OBS, she will go for a training in Italy, and so forth. So last year we sent 5 ladies precisely for this program to many countries, and we're doing this again and again. And luckily, they're coming back with a really rich experience. They're growing up in the positions, and we have now ladies in the managerial. The fashion industry should have mostly, and we're introducers for as males to this industry. Definitely, they're an integral part of the industry.
Great. I believe this is a very important topic for you, Ghadi, as well. So as an entrepreneur and an advisor, can you tell us how you are seeing the progress of ladies working in the fashion industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe because I started at an early age when I was around 16 years old, so my journey wasn't easy compared to today. So I faced different obstacle and challenge, but I'm happy, right? I go through different challenge and obstacle. This challenge shaped my future. Allow me to learn and develop, allow me to discover myself, my purpose in life. So as a mentor, I believe that women sometimes underestimate their own power and ability. So I always make sure to allow them to know that men and women in working place are completing each other, not competing with each other, and we learn from men as well. So this is what I want to say about it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're left with 2 minutes. I would like, before we end the session, ask all the panelists their sentiment about the upcoming, let's say, 3 years. We've passed as fashion retailers into really tough times with COVID, post-COVID, the recovery. Today, how do you feel about tomorrow?
Well, our actions say for what's going to happen. Definitely, the retail goes in cycles, but we at Al Othaim investment group and the fashion, we're also landlords. We operate malls. We're operating now 12 malls. We're building 20 additional malls. We're moving really well with our entertainment and developing the entertainment. We're moving really well with the food. For the fashion, we were 4 brands a couple of years ago. Now we are 40. So we're growing in 10 times. This is going to go through the brick and mortar and through e-commerce. The future, this is the land of the opportunities now. Saudi Arabia with the Vision 2030, with Expo coming 2030, World Cup, all the great initiatives and projects that are coming. This is the place for opportunities. The population is getting higher. We hear plans about bringing 150 million tourists to the kingdom. Riyadh population is going to double in 7-8 years. This is a great platform for opportunities. The future is great, inshallah.
Exciting for fashion. Ashim, what about you? How do you feel about the future?
Yeah, I agree to what you say. Saudi Arabia is a place to be. Way back in my country, when we talk about the development and the place where we have to be, whether it is technology or any other aspect, even in education, we have some investments in education as well. Everybody is looking up to Saudi Arabia. And we are very excited to have got an opportunity here to present ourselves. There is a lot of investments happening, and these investments look very, very positive so far. When it comes to the technology front, I am totally sold to the idea that the adoption rate at which Saudi will be accepting the new technologies will be far ahead than many other developing countries. So it is exciting times for us.
That's great to hear. What about you, Kunal? Optimistic?
Yep, absolutely. Very, very optimistic. We started in 2012. We had 50 products online on day one. Today we have 70, 80,000 products online. It's the largest collection of unique luxury items anywhere. I mean, this is larger than Mall of Emirates. Everything we put online is sold by the end of the year. Clothing, shoes, pre-owned bags, jewelry, watches, everything is gone. So, and that really speaks to the incredible closets, which they have amazing products, but also the consumer sentiment. They love what we do. They want to buy pre-owned items, and yeah, it's great. It's great to see when this starts actually happening, even for clothing. Not just bags, and this is where we are today. So super optimistic. We're also fully localizing Saudi. So we've been here, had a presence for 3 years now, but now we're building a fully local-to-local marketplace. That means the products come in, are warehoused here, and then they get sold back in the country. Yeah.
Great. So we've heard, Ghadi, that technology is advancing. We have like an advantage in terms of tourism growth, population growth, and online growth as well. What do you wish more for Saudi fashion industry?
Actually, I want to see more brands go to the global marketplace, and also more Saudi women. As you mentioned, May, that we want to see Saudi women in management.
Yes, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Now that, for, I think you said 20 years, Giordano is in Saudi Arabia, so you've seen the whole change happening. What do you think is coming in the future?
Still we see, we haven't grown as much we should grow. So there's a huge amount of opportunity. Within Giordano itself, we have a lot of other brands as well. So I keep pressurizing the principals to, start bringing those brands to Saudi Arabia. Currently, one of the panels that we had before, they did mention in terms of a little bit margins are getting impacted. We see this as just a temporary phase, and in the future of Saudi and for all of us, it's going to be great.
Great, great. Thank you very much for your time. It was a very insightful panel. Thank you.
Thank you so much, May, for moderating that panel. If I could ask you to all take a step to the front of the stage so we can just capture that photo very quickly. Just a quick reminder, I'm sure